So let's talk about the 5 reasons that succession planning for a family-owned or closely held business is important. Well, the first thing is it's good for your customers. Your customers want to know that if the head guy, if Wayne dies, that there are other people there ready, willing, and able to take over those responsibilities and get the projects done. Make sure that, by God, if I enlisted the Family Business Institute or XYZ company to do something for me, it's going to get done, and it's going to get done in a on time and on budget and with high quality. So it's great for your customers, which means it's good for business development. You can say to your prospective customers that not only can we deliver this now with our current team, but we also have a tremendous succession plan in place just in case lightning strikes. The second reason that succession planning is important is it's good for the employees, and it's really good for the employees for 3 reasons. The first thing is it preserves jobs. And my assumption is if you have half a brain, you have joined up with a company that you like to work for. It's a fair working environment, a fun working environment, you get paid a fair wage, et cetera, et cetera. So in business, if you like a company and you enjoy the job that the company provides for you, you stay. And succession planning allows you to stay if that's what you choose. The second thing is it preserves the culture of the company and the relationships that you've made in the company. And culture is a loaded word these days in modern American society, but culture is why you stay. Relationships are why you stay with the company. Maybe you could make a buck going somewhere else and pick up a few more dollars. But for most people, the reason they stay with their companies is they like it. They like the people, the culture, the atmosphere, the work environment, etc. I read something years ago that struck me. It said, really, the only 2 things that affect you in life are the books you read and the people you meet. And the people you meet inside your company are much of the reason why you stay with that company and give your best for that company. And the third reason that succession planning is good for employees is that it stops rumors. In the absence of succession planning, people say, I don't know what's going to happen when the senior guy leaves, but this is what I heard, or this is what I think. And then the next guy and the next guy and the next guy. And before long, you've got tongues wagging like crazy and people are thinking about, oh, I need to leave because they don't have a succession plan, or the succession plan is so flawed, it's going to be a disaster. None of us will have jobs after all this is over. So those are reasons that it's really good for the employees. The third reason succession planning is important is it's the honorable thing to do. If your company's been around for a while, 20, 30, 50 years or whatever, you think about the cumulative investment of blood, toil, sweat, and tears that people, real people, living, breathing people have put into that thing over time. It's honorable to do succession planning because literally you're honoring the sacrifices and contributions that those people made way back when. The fourth reason, and this might be the most important one, the fourth reason succession planning is important in the context of a family or closely held business is that it allows you to game plan the future. And here's why game plan is important. Some of you are big college football fans, and if you go to the game on a Saturday this fall and you come out, your team comes out down 3 touchdowns at halftime, and they run the ball 3 plays, out, punt, do it again, run the ball 3 plays, out, punt, you're going to be sitting there going, this coach better have a plan B or a plan C. And if that coach consistently doesn't and consistently loses games because of a lack of imagination and a lack of planning, you're going to be calling for his scalp. And you should be doing the same things in your family businesses. If your leaders are not doing succession planning, you should be calling for their scalps too, just as you would for the college football coach, because game planning the future is a requirement for a company that's going to be successful in the future. And the fifth and final reason that succession planning is important is that succession planning fosters growth. You get the senior leaders and the best minds in your company together and you talk about what if. What is the future going to look like for us? Where are we going to be? How are we going to look as a company? How are we going to change and improve and grow? Now some people say, I don't want to grow. Our company does $20 million in sales or $100 million in sales or $500 million in sales. We don't want to grow the top line anymore, but you better be growing somewhere. You better be growing or you're dying. And you can grow in lots of different ways. You could grow in customer satisfaction. You could grow in employee morale. You could grow in efficiency and margins and all kinds of different metrics that you elect to measure in your company. But if you don't have an active plan for growing some aspect of your closely held business, you're going to be in trouble. If you're not growing, you're dying. So those are the 5 reasons that succession planning is important. Those are the 5 reasons that tell you what's in it for you. When you see your senior leaders go into a room with a pointy-headed consultant, that's what's in it for you. You're going to preserve jobs, you're going to preserve culture, you're going to preserve customers, you're going to game plan the future, and you're going to foster growth in some area or another of the company. Thanks very much. Wayne Rivers, the Family Business Institute.